NXT seems to keep embracing the chaos, as in the Nathan Frazier vs Eddie Thorpe qualifier for the Iron Survivor match. It was absolutely destructive. So Nathan Frazier and Eddie Thorpe had this match, but during the match, all the tag teams on the roster came out and they started brawling mid-match, and this ultimately allowed Nathan Frazier to pick up the victory, and he's going to the Iron Survivor match. Now, yeah, I'm definitely happy with this decision. I was kind of worried Eddie Thorpe was gonna win because, yeah, it didn't make sense to put Nathan Frazier in there at first. But I'm glad Eddie Thorpe didn't win. He doesn't have any connection to the crowd. I don't have any connection to Eddie Thorpe, and I'm more interested in seeing what happens with Nathan Frazier. Since later on in the night, we had the announcement Axiom will face Ethan Page next week, and if Axiom wins, he's also going to the match. It's gonna be I don't know how that match is gonna turn out, because it would make sense to put Ethan Page in it, but it would also make sense to put Axiom in that match. So I'm interested in seeing where that goes. But yeah, I'm glad Nathan Frazier wins. It adds a bit of star power to the match. Not a lot, but it's better than Eddie Thorpe. Following this up with another qualifier match, Jada Parker versus Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer wins. She's going to the Iron Survivor match, but only because Lola Vice came out during the match and this distracted Jada Parker. Don't get me wrong here. I love that we have some deep mid-card women's feuds, but how do you progress this? How do you go further from a hardcore no disqualification match to how do we progress this feud? Because I don't think this feud's gonna have like a steel cage match or an I Quit match. It feels like it was done. So I don't know what we're doing now. Are we gonna continue this? Because I think Jada Parker versus Lola Vice was done. So I don't know what we're planning on doing this. But I'm glad Stephanie Vaquer won. I think this was just a cheap way to get Jada Parker to lose the match without losing any momentum. But yeah, Lola Vice versus Jada Parker. One more match, then it should be done. I think we're already overdoing it at this point. We get a promo package from Julia, and then Kalani Jordan backstage wants to challenge Julia to a match next week. The winner will go on to the Iron Survivor match. I'm talking about that match a lot, but it's a big part of the show. So I'm excited for this match. It's like, this is a marquee match for me personally. Kalani Jordan is like my favorite women's wrestler in the world right now. And Julia is pretty cool too. I like her a lot. So Julia's probably gonna win because they already teased Vaquer versus Julia. So I don't know what we're doing with Kalani Jordan. I'm gonna be fine if she picks up a few L's because she just came off a women's title reign, but let's do something important with her after this. Tony D'Angelo then defeats Brooks Jensen in a non-title match. Obviously, Tony D'Angelo is the champion, but after the match, he gets attacked. His leg gets attacked by Brooks Jensen and Shawn Spears, and Jensen stands tall. Now backstage, Tony D'Angelo, he wants a match against Shawn Spears next week, and Ava's like, okay, if your leg's alright, you can have it. So we have a North American Championship match next week. I'm happy that we're getting this on television because this is not a pay-per-view match at all. Shawn Spears is so boring, and his whole faction is so boring, and it looks like they're getting a new member, by the way. I didn't catch his name. It almost looked like Josh Briggs, but like it seems like we're getting someone else in this group, which is, I'm interested in that. I kind of want to see what's happening there. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo is going to win, and we're going to go to someone new because, yeah, I'm not interested in this feud. Then we had the mixed tag team match. Ashante the Adonis and Carmen Petrovich pick up the victory against Brinley Reese and Deion Lennox. So this was a pretty good match. Like I say, I am very into Brinley Reese. I think she deserves a push. And even though she lost, it's a pretty big opportunity. She's been getting a lot of screen time recently. Hopefully that only means good things. But yeah, I'm happy with Ashante and Carmen winning. I've dug this story that they've been telling with two of them. I haven't been talking about it a lot because it's just such short segments. But I've really enjoyed the story, and them winning it's really nice. And like they're sort of into each other now. I just love this. Give me more of this. But afterwards, more relationship problems. Nikita Lyons says she's still waiting for the text back from Adonis, and Carmen gets pissed and she walks off. And then Adonis is like, I didn't even text her. So I'm curious to see where this is going. And I'm glad we're probably going to get Nikita Lyons versus Carmen Petrovich in a little mid-card feud. I'm glad we're not just throwing Nikita Lyons in the world title scene. We kind of are. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But like, yeah, I'm glad we're not just throwing her in the title scene. We're giving her some stories to build her up. So that's good. I like that. Zarya defeats Ren Sinclair, and Zarya is going to the Iron Survivor match. I'm glad Zarya won, but the match went on a little too long. Ren Sinclair should not be having a more than 5-minute match with Zarya. Not at all. So I don't like that. Zara should have won quick and easy, but for what it was fine. Then Fatal Influence is in the ring talking about how they're at the top of the division. Just your traditional heel faction promo. And Falinelli, she says she's gonna have an open challenge, but only next week. And then a bunch of mid-card women come out. They also start a brawl similar to the tag teams earlier tonight. But at the end, it's Tatum Paxley standing tall. And this just proved to me how deep the NXT Women's Division is, because none of the heavy hitters were here. Like, some of these women are really good and should be at the top of the division, but none of the heavy hitters were really here. So, like, you have such a deep division. You have a full-ass mid-card scene that's incredible. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm excited to see what's happening. We're going to get Tatum Paxley versus Fallon Henley next week, so it's a good match, but Tatum Paxley just loses too much. That's my whole thing about her all the time. Every now and again she gets a big victory, but then she just keeps racking up L's and they don't do anything with that momentum. So it's like, what are we even doing here? I just want to see Tatum Paxley actually do something important. Like, send her to the main roster and team her up with Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria needs the help up there. She's not connecting with the crowd too much. I think Tatum Paxley could help with that because she has a lot more on-screen aura than Lyra. So yeah, but let's just do something with her. Let's not keep feeding her to the other stars, the other champions. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then in the main event, we had Ridge Holland versus Chase U. Big stakes, but Ridge Holland won. I said it from the start, no result is going to be beneficial to anyone. Ridge Holland is winning and he's going to Deadline to face Trick Williams. Credit to Shawn Michaels and credit to NXT. Ridge Holland was booked like an absolute monster here. And if I was a child, I would be I would believe Ridge Holland could defeat Trick Williams. But as I'm older now, I'm not a child anymore, so I can see these stuff more clearly. Ridge Holland is not going to win the NXT Championship. Trick Williams is not going to lose to Ridge freaking Holland. So I'm still not very invested in this. I would have rather seen Wesley or Obafemi or maybe just someone else, but not Ridge Holland, man. It's like a television match. That's it at most. But yeah, Chase U loses and Chase U isn't finished. They made it very clear that Chase U is not done. It's just Thea Hale, Duke Hudson, and Riley Osborne have to separate from Chase U. And I think that's beneficial to all of them. Thea Hale needs to go on her own. She needs to do her own stuff because Chase U has been holding her back for the last few months because she hasn't done anything of significance. And it's going to be good to see if she can survive on her own. And then for Riley Osborne and Duke Hudson, they're going to go on their own ways. Maybe they'll be a tag team, but either way, they're going to benefit whatever division they go to. And then for Chase U, I'm glad it's still going to be a thing. I hope it's still going to be a thing. Because I think you all know my ideas with Chase U. I do think they should have a long alumni in the future. So the fact that they might still be able to do that, it's very good. So that was what happened on NXT tonight. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. It was nothing too special, but it was very solid. Some great matches, some great storyline progressions. I overall enjoyed it, but nothing really happened that could put it over the top for me. So that's why it's only a 7. But I did enjoy tonight's show. And, I'm excited for next week's show. I'm excited for the build towards Deadline. And are you? Let me know because I'm curious to know. So yeah, please leave a like and subscribe. The channel has grown a lot over the last month. So I'm so thankful for everybody that subscribed, that enjoyed this content, that likes the video. And yeah, please like the video. It helps a lot. It genuinely does. So I'm sending love to all around the world and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.